Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Going Medieval. I hope you're having a good one, because things in Thatcham are arguably better than they've ever been. I said at the end of the last episode that we were going to give things a little bit of a break for a couple of hours between episodes, and I did do that, and construction over here is finished, which is fantastic. And you might have already spotted some other things that I did. I built 2 new buildings here as well. Well, they're under construction, and they're just a bit different looking. They have some limestone block walls, which is a thing that we're finally making. We're also getting some smelting going on. We just have progress being made, and honestly, it's nice. But more importantly than all of that, we have 2 new settlers. We have Jeffrey and Dulcia, who joined us in the time between episodes in the usual way that they do. I think Jeffrey actually joined us without having a raid come after us, but Dulcia joined us very, very recently. And as you can see, the raid went very, very well for us anyway, is what it did. There are a few settlers that are a little bit, there's a few that are injured at the moment, and they definitely need a bit of medical attention. Dislocated shoulder, for example, minor lacerations, concussion, but mild, you know, the usual is what it is, just the usual. So, you know, they'll be fine, is what they'll be. They will be fine. Now, these 2 buildings out here, I do have a specific idea in mind for these guys, because we do have some new types of things that we can play with. We have things like the limestone hearth, which obviously is going to be for cooking. And we have some iron ingots that we could use to make this. We have the blacksmith's forge, though. And we can make it out of limestone brick, or we can make it out of clay brick, which is another thing that we have. And that's kind of what the primary function of these buildings is supposed to be, is, you know, a forge or something else. I'll be honest, I've slightly forgotten what else we can build. Do we have an armorer's table right now? I just don't know. It's been a minute. It has been a little bit of a minute. I put a couple of hours into the game between episodes, and then I come back the next day, and I was like, I want to put a couple more hours in, and we do actually have a blacksmith's forge, so that's great. Let's go ahead then and queue up a couple of things. Let's queue up, I guess, I'm thinking short swords, and I'm thinking do it until we have like 5 of them, maybe 4 of them. I mean, we only have 4 people that do melee combat, so let's do it until we have 2 of them. And then let's queue up some that thing until we have maybe 2 of those as well. We apparently already have 3, which is something. But I also want to go in and smelt items. And I'm going to say anything from flimsy to good is going to be smelted. And the reason I'm doing that is because we're getting some people that are pretty decent at crafting, so I feel like we can kind of get away with doing that. You know, I feel like we can kind of get away with, you know, putting in some tasks that are a little more picky is the word that we'll go for. A little bit more picky. Now, let's go ahead and put in a couple more things, because we do have some more things to play with. The armorer's table, for example. I'm kind of wanting to put it here. I kind of like the idea of putting it upstairs in the manor, because this room isn't really getting used for anything. So I think that is what we're going to do. And if we have a look here and just remind ourselves what workshops are made of, they are made of, I think they're blue, right? So an armorer's table, and then at least 2 wall tool shelves. So if we go in here, we want to get wall tool shelves, which are these guys. We can do one there, we can do one there, and that will eventually become a bit of a workshop. We could sort of do them there and there as well for a little bit of extra decoration, I suppose, and I think that'll be fine. So that'll be a workshop. This up here can be one as well, which is kind of tempting. I'm not really sure what else we could put up there, because I'm not 100% sure what we have and don't have. A hearth would definitely be nice. I do think it's fair to say that a hearth would be pretty good. And I'm feeling like we have some choices here. We can make a limestone block fireplace, which gives a lot of heat as well. Good Lord. But it can also produce stew, ash, roasted meat, roasted human meat. So I think we're going to put a limestone block fireplace upstairs, and we'll make that into sort of a cooking space, I suppose, is what we can do. So we can have those two production rooms. And then I think these guys over here, I mean, we already have a blacksmith's forge there. So these spaces could become, you know, rooms for furnaces if I really wanted them to be, which I'm not really against doing. I don't hate the idea of having, you know, some pretty full-on furnaces here. Might be a little weird having them inside, but I don't know. I don't hate the idea. It might be a problem as well, because the heat output is 2000. So having like 5 of them in here might cause some problems during a heat wave. And it is spring. It's actually very nearly summer. So, you know, it might get a little bit warm in there is what it might do. Getting some kilns as well probably wouldn't be a terrible idea, because we can get clay bricks and coals from those. But we also do need ingots. So I think what we'll do is we're going to go into more mining. So I'm going to make these out of limestone. And I think we are just going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. And we'll queue those up to do some things eventually. On this side, we could go and do some of these guys. Also, we have a Aethelman's unconscious for some reason. We'll have a look into that in just a second. I think that'll be fine. Why is Aethelman unconscious? What did you do? Why are you unconscious? Are you just tired? Is that what's going on here? You are just tired? Are you just exhausted? Really? You're not injured. You are just exhausted, which is weird. I'm not really sure why you're exhausted. Let's get Jeffrey to carry you to an empty bed and let you sleep, I guess. Have I messed up their scheduling? Not really. So, I mean, I have them. I did change their schedule at one point, but I think this is okay. I don't know. I feel like this is fine. I feel like it's not a huge deal. Let's just change this up a little bit though. Let's have you do leisure in the morning. Let me copy that and just paste it to everybody, including the 2 new people who are so new that they didn't have any scheduling. So that will hopefully be fine. Maybe what we do is move work a little further into the evening, move leisure to there, and give them a little bit more of a break in the kind of middle of the day. That might not be a terrible idea. We'll see how that goes. We'll see, you know, what they end up doing with that. Hopefully good things, but I don't know. I just don't know. We really do need some limestone though. And apparently, even though it says we don't have any, I guess we have some probably laying around, right? And there is some there that we could mine. Aethelman's unconscious. You're not even in a, what are you doing? What? You know what? We're just going to let him sleep. His consciousness is increasing, you know, so we are just going to let him sleep is what he's going to do. He's now going to go do some hauling is what he's going to do. Now the other good news is this mine is coming together pretty nicely, as you can see. There's a lot of clay in there, which we're probably going to want to use for construction. And this over here is coming along a little bit too. It's got some iron down here that we can hopefully turn into something useful. I'm also thinking I want to... Cassandra, can I get you to hold that to a stockpile, please? Because I want to move those stairs a little bit is what I want to do. Because they're in a bit of a weird spot, you know? I don't really like them there. I had to put them there just because, but I'd like to put them literally anywhere but there. So if you could move that pile, which I think is probably going to take you a while, so I don't think that's going to be happening right now. That's fine. That's okay. What we'll do is we'll go in, and I'm just going to use wood for this. I don't know why I used clay for the other ones. We'll do some wooden stairs there. And we could do, I guess these stairs are fine where they are. So once those are built, we'll take these ones out. We'll just keep mining this out because there is more clay there, but there's also more iron, which is something that we're absolutely going to be wanting. We actually have a lot of clay along here, which I don't know how much I want all of that clay, but that is not the tool that I wanted. How do I cancel? I want to cancel all of that, and I want to do hunting is what I want to do. There we go. So yeah, we have all that iron, but we also have somewhere more iron over here as well, with a bit of limestone too, which is lovely. And yeah, we're going to have to get a bit of a staircase going here as well. So let's do... Well, I guess we're going to have to figure out how to do this one, because looking at it, we're going to have to figure out how to get down to those piles. I guess we do a staircase there and hope that we can actually get down there. But that'll be good, right? So we can get all of those resources. We've got hopefully some limestone that we can get down to. I actually don't really know if we can get down in there for limestone. I don't know if there is limestone beneath the ground or if it's just surface deposits that the game has, but it's probably fine is what it is. We also have this, and this has been built as well. Fantastic. Okay. We can make meals. We can make lavish meals. We can make pickled vegetables. How do we make preservatives? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are preservatives made over here? Is this... So that's vinegar, which I assume is a preservative. Interesting. Okay, so what are we making right now? We're making ale. We're making wine. We need to make beer. Why are we not making beer? Oh, my God. Let's make a bit more of all of them. Right, so we'll make, I guess, 15 of each. But we also probably need vinegar, so let's do 20 of that and make it a bit of a priority, because that seems like a pretty good idea. And then coming over here, we can go and say pickled vegetables, because I imagine they're going to keep a little bit. So do that until we have, like, I don't know, 50 of them. And then in terms of meals, I mean, we do actually need fuel for this, but do that until, oh my God, that's a lot. Do that until we have like 150, and then lavish meals, do that until we have like, I don't know, 50. And I guess we'll make lavish meals a bit more of a priority, and we'll see how that goes. So that's that going to be set up. Let's set you up as well, because this is something I do want. I want to dismantle items for cloth, and I want to say anything up to good. I want to dismantle items for metal, and I want to say anything up to good. And then I want to start making armor, is what I want to do. So, I mean, which is better? So what is this? Job type tailoring, gambeson, leather armor. I don't really know. Let's just, how many people do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, I guess make 10 of these for now. I guess we can make 15. Or we'll do until we have 15. Right? We'll do it sort of that way. So do until we have 15 of those, and then with you, we'll do until we have 15 of those as well, and any that aren't at least fine will be recycled. And that's okay, because we do have some pretty good crafters, we do have some good people, so even if it means that we're going to be scrapping some of what we're doing, eventually it'll be good, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Or fine, I guess. Good is not good enough. So summer has just arrived, and that's going to bring some interesting challenges, I think. The good news is that I've already changed everyone's schedule, so they're sleeping kind of at the peak of the temperature, and then they're going to be working through the night. The bad news is we haven't yet turned off all of these things. So let's just get that done, because they are kind of going to need to be turned off. People are going to start having some trouble. Like you have a severe concussion. All right, Anwind, we'll have you go and extinguish these flames right now, because to be honest with you, mate, that is kind of a big deal. So if you wouldn't mind just going through and just extinguishing at least the ones in rooms where people are going to be sleeping. You know, they can deal with having, you know, fires lit in rooms that they're working in. This is why, because a heat wave is going to happen. But, you know, what do I know, Goldina? Just go to sleep with a fire lit in your room at the height of summer. You know what I mean? It's, you know, what do I know? What do I know? Honestly, I do ask myself that question unironically sometimes. But there we go. So everyone can sleep in rooms that are going to be way too warm, regardless of what I do. They're going to be working in rooms that are going to be ridiculously warm. This room, for example, I imagine, yeah, 32.1 right there. I imagine this room as well. Probably going to be quite warm by the time those, the furnaces get going. Probably going to be quite warm indeed, is what they'll be. But regardless, I'm sure it'll be fine. The good news is, Allison here, can you go and prioritize mining this, please? I'd really like this mine to be finished. You know, I'd like these corner bits to be gone, so I can lay out, you know, the lower part of this mine, because that's the next step of this thing, right? We're going deeper. In fact, I guess we could start with that, couldn't we? So we can come over here, we can do this. We can come over here, we can do, oh boy, this is going to be a little bit tricky, this. We can do that. We can do that as well. You're going to go there. And I think we're going to get rid of that as well. That's a nice slope to have, but I don't think we need it. So that can go away. And this guy can kind of come up to here. And I guess we kind of mine it into... We'll not bother mining it in there. That seems a little bit pointless. We'll mine up to here. We'll mine to about there. And I guess we can kind of mine that bit out too. We can mine all of this out. And we can mine all of that out. So we're basically going to go down another level. Is what we're going to do. That's a lot of mining. That is a ridiculous amount of mining. But I'm really hopeful that eventually it's maybe gonna turn up some limestone down there. That's the dream. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it's the dream. So a few people have fallen unconscious. Now, fortunately, Uthred is in bed. Allison isn't. Allison's currently in the mine, which is not exactly where you want to be. Anwind is also outside and unconscious, and Cassandra is going down there to continue mining. Cassandra, can you maybe carry Allison to a bed? And Goldina, if you wouldn't mind going and getting Anwind to a bed, that'd be great. Jeffrey is also unconscious. Jeffrey is thankfully up in a room, which is great. Cassandra is now unconscious, which is a bit of a pickle because Cassandra is carrying Allison. Where was the other one? Goldina, what are you doing? Are you okay? You're okay. Goldina is unconscious. All right, Dulcia, how you doing? Are you doing all right? You seem to be not struggling too much. Go carry whoever. And Baudry, if you could carry the other one, that would be great. We'll just get these two into a bed, because we can't really afford them dying because of excessive heat. Of course, like summer kicks in, and we're immediately into a heat wave. Also, let's allow that, and let me just check something. Manage. Yeah, they are all set to summer clothes. They seem to be opting to not wear them, which is interesting. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean, they're allowed to. They're just apparently deciding not to. Fair enough. I mean, to each their own. I'm not going to tell them what they have to do right now, but they would probably be better not wearing heavy armor and instead wearing some nice light summer clothes, perhaps with a floral pattern that's going to just billow in the wind all pretty like. Isn't that right, Uthred? Uthred's like... Uthred is one of those names that, and no offense to anyone watching named Uthred, because I'm sure there's at least... I'm sure most of you, and you know, it's a very common name just in the world. You know what? I'm actually curious. I'm curious. I'm gonna find out. Okay, apparently in 2021 there have been, it is the 5,708th most popular baby name for boys, which is up 3,105 from 2020. I don't know if that means it's up that many places, or if there's been an extra 3,105 kids born named Uthred. Also, I spelt it wrong. Let's try that again. I couldn't find it, so I'm going to assume that means it's not very popular. That might be a little presumptuous of me, but I'm just going to go on the assumption that Uthred is not a very popular baby name. But there you go. We have a very unique audience here on the channel. We go against the norms, and we do, in fact, I'm sure. I'm positive that a lot of you were named Uthred. I don't know where I was. I don't know what the gag was there. I got so caught up in actually looking to see if it was a real name, I've completely forgotten what the point of this argument was. But there's something you didn't know about the name, whatever it was, not Uthred. I don't know. I don't know what the argument was there at all. Let me go ahead and chop down these trees because they're in a stupid place right there. And let me chop down this guy and this guy and these guys too, because they're all getting a little bit too close to the mine for comfort right there. And in terms of other things, so what exactly... So Jeffrey is getting items to dismantle, which I guess is fair enough. So he's going up here to dismantle things for cloth. I don't know that we need people doing that urgently is the thing. It's not going to hurt having people that can do that. But I do definitely get the feeling that dismantling is not necessarily a priority. I'm also feeling like it'd be really nice if we could get more textbooks. Maybe we do want to manage jobs a little bit. I mean, everyone can craft. You are not bad at smithing. So I'll tell you what. Now, Cassandra's very good at research, but I'm also going to put you on smithing. Because I think having someone else that can do smithing is not going to be a bad idea, to be completely honest. But I'm also going to put you on research, and I'm going to put you on research, and I'm going to put you on tailoring, and I'm going to put Cassandra on tailoring as well. I did have these all relatively nicely balanced, but I'm thinking that this will be kind of okay to sort of spread it out like this a little bit. Dulcia does a lot of hunting, does a lot of crafting, bit of smithing, bit of tailoring. So getting a few more people on that, I think, is going to be for the best. I think that's going to kind of help us out a little bit. So yeah, I think that's how we'll do things. We'll just get a couple more people doing a couple more things and see if we can maybe get a little bit more production going, because we're still very much in the same place that we've been for a while. It's great that this is built, and obviously that was the point of sort of taking a bit of time between this episode and the previous one. And it's great as well that we are getting clay bricks, because, you know, we can use those for different things. It's great, for example, that we have piles of iron ingots. That is fantastic. But I would like a little more, you know? There's still more that we can do. There's still more that we can make. There's still a lot more that we can do, to be completely honest. So I want to make sure that production is happening. I'm also going to go in here and I'm going to say clear everything and allow, I'm going to say iron ingots in there. We might as well store them up that way. I don't know how many we can necessarily store, but we'll make that a very high priority for iron ingots. Hopefully those can, you know, be stored and do good things. I'm thinking over here, I'm maybe going to do the same thing too with this room here, since it's not being used right now. We could maybe go ahead and set up a couple of storage areas here too. So we can do like a nice sort of storage area there. And we'll set you as a high priority. I don't know what for, but for something. Maybe armor. We do have armor being made upstairs, so we could do that. Textiles, we have leather and cloth and things like that upstairs as well. Materials, we could do vinegar since it's a preservative and it's something that we're going to want upstairs. So I think we will do that. And I think that'll be okay. We can do another stockpile here. And that'll be fine. So this guy is going to be clear all. And I'm not really too sure what to do on this one. This could maybe be for, what is this? Packaged meal. I dread to think what that is. The dots there, I'm not going to lie. Let's do, I guess, packaged meals. I don't know if I want to put food in here because it's actually not going to be a great place for it. So maybe this could be more materials. So we have vinegar in there already. I don't know if we have salt. We could do coal, which I guess isn't a bad idea because we're going to need fuel. So we'll do some coal in there, and that's going to be a high priority as well. So that can just be a little bit of extra storage for whatever. I don't know if it's necessarily going to get used, but we can kind of do the same here as well. You know, we have this upper floor in the manor, which isn't really being used for anything. So we're getting cloth and we're getting metal. So why don't we do a little bit of storage up here for something like that? And then we could do something on this side as well. So we'll do that. And we'll say you are going to be high priority, clear everything, material. And we'll just say gold, steel, and iron on that one. And for you, it's going to be clear everything, high priority, and I guess textiles, except leather, because that's going to come out of butchering. So that should be fine. That'll give us a little something to work with in terms of, I guess, just having some extra storage, because I do feel like that is something that we're kind of going to need. I'm also going to put some extra lights up here. I say extra lights. I'm going to put some lights up here because there are none. So that'll be good, I think. We'll see how that ends up going. I'm hoping for good things. I'm genuinely hoping for good things. Are you actually making something now, or what are you doing? Oh, you're actually crafting armor. Fantastic. So there's actual production going on. It's kind of about time. And then here, we're actually preparing lavish meals. Okay. Well, that's kind of excellent. That's actually what we want. We actually want things being made, so I guess it's not all mining that's going on. Just, you know, mostly. Dulcia is unconscious. What happened to you? What? Why? Why are you unconscious? What's going on here? Unconscious. But for what reason? Are you just tired? Just exhausted? Go to sleep. Just go. I mean, it is almost bedtime, so I don't know. There you go. Get up and like go and enjoy entertainment, I guess. It's a bit. You were exhausted. I guess you're fine now, huh? It's funny how that works. It seems like someone just wanted to get out of doing work. That's what I think is going on anyway. I don't know if it's true, but yeah, you're unconscious again. I mean, a likely story. What is it? 10? What do you do at 10? What's your schedule for 10 o'clock? Bedtime. Okay, well, you're taking it a little bit too literally, Dulcia. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you might, I appreciate the commitment to a strict schedule, but, yeah, you don't want to just sort of go like, oh, 10 o'clock, you know, time for me to just, you know, it's, you know, you probably want to get into bed. That's all I'm saying. That's kind of all I'm getting at, is you probably want to actually climb in. It's going to be more comfortable, is what it's going to be. Anyway, we have research available. So let's see what we can do. We can go into shields 2. We can go into armorer 2. We could save up and go for wooden weaponry 2. We could go for steel, which is probably going to be needed for something eventually, such as plate armor, I would imagine. Swords, maybe. I think steel. I'll be honest, I think steel is probably the way to go. And then we can come over here and probably say, wait, what is this thing? Blacksmith's Forge. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Blacksmith's Forge versus smelting furnaces. Is it you I want to make steel? It is you I want to make steel in. Okay. We really got to get our hands on some more limestone to finish these furnaces in here. Or we could just make them out of clay, which, to be honest, probably just gonna be so much easier. So, Yeah, let's do that. They're not going to be as good looking, but we can actually build them, which is probably more important. So we'll get those in there. And in terms of other things, I mean, I don't really know, nor do I really care what else goes in there. I just kind of want these furnaces, is what I want, because I want to have the option to clear these other furnaces out of here, if that is a thing I happen to want to do, and then just have this massive production room for everything else. It just seems like it would be a pretty good idea. So, Aethelman, if you wouldn't mind just finishing that one up. Allison, you can do that one. Cassandra's doing that one. Then we've got, who's this? Jeffrey doing absolutely nothing. That's fine. Is this one done? It is. So we have 3 products, right? We have iron, we have gold, and we have steel. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking gold is going to be a relatively rare thing for us to make. So 2 iron, 2 steel, 1 gold. That would be my thinking. So this one iron and just do forever. This one iron. Why is stew rotted away in the stockpile? That's bad. And do forever. This one steel and do until we have, like, I don't know, 150. This one isn't finished. This one's going to be gold. Do that forever. This one's going to be steel and do until we have, I guess, 150 again. So there we go. We'll get those going and that'll be the whole thing is what it'll be. Now, stew rotting away in a stockpile has me slightly concerned. I'm not going to lie, because we don't really want it doing that. We kind of want to eat that. So, a little bit worried about stew rotting away, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be nothing to worry about. Who's becoming annoyed? Losing consciousness. Why? Why? What do you mean desperately thirsty, lacking in entertainment? What? What is wrong with you? I'm like genuinely. Okay, the stench of rot is something they don't like. That's new. That's something I've never seen before. So losing consciousness has you kind of miserable. Give you more sleep hours. Okay, what if we go to schedule? What if we move work back by a little bit, right? We move anything back a little bit. We move leisure to about there. We take this out of there and we give you some extra sleep time, right? So you sleep a little bit earlier in the day and that'll hopefully stop Goldina from passing out. Right? That's the goal here. Okay. Gold, okay. You know, gold, if it could stop telling me that everyone's exhausted, that'd be great. I know they're exhausted. Okay. Baudry is just determined and Dulcia is, I don't know what you're doing, actually, if I'm completely honest with you. I'm not actually sure why? What are you making? You're making steel? What are you making? You are loading that up with steel. Okay. I'll be honest with you, Dulcia. As much as I'm happy that you're making steel, I don't know how to feel about the fact that you're using all of our iron already, but okay. Fair enough. I guess we could make that into a storage room. That wouldn't be a terrible place to put things like steel and whatnot, because I don't actually know what this is going to be. We could put kilns in there, I suppose, and have that be set up to make bricks. Although, I mean, a limestone one would be lovely, but I don't think we're going to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do that, and that'll be okay, I think. Because then we can get rid of these guys out here, and yeah, I think it'll look better. If a little bit weird, because the whole point of these yards was that they were going to have kilns in them, but, well, kilns and furnaces and all sorts of things, but that's probably fine. I'm also noticing a little bit of overgrowth here. Kind of need to get rid of some of these trees. They're not really supposed to be as clustered as that. Unexpected thunder roared, crashing through the bruised sky. Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. It's not going to set anything on fire. We've had thunder before. I'm sure people don't really like it. They're not thrilled by it, but they'll survive. Hopefully. It's just hit me that Dulcia has not... Let me just... So yeah, there we... I had to like recruit and unrecruit Dulcia there because you didn't sleep and you didn't eat. You know what I mean? That's not good. I mean, you can eat now, which is fantastic, and you're eating in the Great Hall, which is also fantastic. But you're not you're not gonna go sleep and you're unconscious. I mean, that is gonna happen. That is definitely gonna happen. So you're unconscious. You're also exhausted. You didn't sleep. You didn't eat. No wonder. Oh wow, this got done really quickly. Okay, so what else can we make here? So let's just do clay bricks. Maybe not forever, but let's do it until we have like, I guess 500 of them. Or 600 of them. That seems fair enough to me. To be completely honest with you. So let's do this one until we have, I don't know, 500 and then 600, and this one until we have, I guess, not 600. Let's go for 600 there. So we'll get those going. You're just going to make coal until we have 267, and you're going to make coal until we have 267. So we'll get those going. We'll get these guys going. And that'll just be, you know, production. And I think that's good. I think that's kind of what we want. Also, I kind of wonder, should we do some beams here? I think these would look better with some beams on the inside of those walls. I think that'll look kind of cool. We could do some lights in the front as well, but I'm thinking just some beams for that extra little bit of decoration, you know? I do think it's just going to look better. And then looking down in here, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know if there's any point in mining out what we're mining out here. We have a lot of clay. We have so much clay, but what I really want is limestone. I'm not going to lie. I do want limestone. We do have some around here. Like we have some over here that we could, you know, dig down into, but I don't know. I do want limestone. I would really love to go in and replace the lower walls of this building with some actual limestone brick. I think it would look so much better if the lower part of this was made out of proper brick. It would also be kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie, to be able to make wooden walls that match that texture. That'd be kind of neat. Or I guess maybe it's, you know, make clay brick walls and then clay shingle rooftops would be the way to go about it. That'd be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know if I want to replace the entire upper part of that building, but that'd be neat, I suppose. Anyway, now that everybody is asleep and waking up, I think it's probably a good time to go ahead and leave it there for today. We've got a nice recap of all the building. We've got all of this going on. We got all of this going on. We do have some production happening as well. And I think what we're going to do is maybe double down on production a little bit. I would like more research to be done. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely thinking research is something that we're going to have to prioritize. Obviously, this mining is slowing things down a little bit. So much so that I think, to be completely truthful, let's cancel this this mining job. Let's cancel all of it. We'll leave that bit. Actually, no, we won't. We'll leave the bits that are in the corners. But for the most part, we're going to keep the mining job cancelled so that we can do just everything else. Everything and anything else that needs done. That's what I want to be doing, I think. Just so that we can make sure that production's happening, so that we can make sure that, you know, like armor is being made. I mean, that's not very good armor, but so that we can make sure it's being made. We have some iron there. You know, we can make sure things are being smelted. I think that's a pretty fair thing to do, you know? Oh, wow, these are all running right now. That's kind of great. I'm not going to lie. That's actually kind of great. Most of these guys are running too, so we are making some steel. We are making some iron. We're going to consume all of the iron, I suppose. But that's fine. I guess we consume it all, turn it into steel. Eventually, we'll hit, you know, the amount of steel that we want. So eventually, we'll start stockpiling on iron as well. And we're also mining this too. Like, this is actually being dug out. We can go ahead and get rid of you. And we can dig this down a little bit further to go ahead and get more, what is that? Well, it's clay, but there's also more iron in there as well. So I don't think it's going to be a bad idea to at least, you know, I did clear out some mining orders, but at least over here, we're mining out something relatively useful. So we'll mine out that bit. We'll mine out that bit. And yeah, that I'm fine with. So that's a good little mining task. We actually have some friggin' limestone underneath the manor as well. I said I was going to wrap things up, didn't I? Oh boy, it's like the old days, isn't it? I don't know, just every game that I've played, there's always that moment of like, yeah, we're going to wrap things up, and we're still playing 20 minutes later. Yeah, we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you for watching, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.